Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look here at the XL Steelix in the Open Ultra League. This Pokemon has access to the move Psychic Fangs, which will allow it to do a ton of damage with its fast move here, the Dragon Tail. Fast move Dragon Tail going to do so much damage, going to still generate a lot of energy as well, which is going to be very decent. As we see here now, the Virizion against the opponent's Tapu Fini. This is going to be an interesting matchup as well, as the Virizion is going to have a pretty decent one here, unless they're going to hit a Moonblast, and they're going to hit a Moonblast. Very risky, no shield, didn't work out for them whatsoever. Most likely shouldn't have done that. But they're going to now shield this move up. You have to go to your own Tapu Fini now in order to have a chance here in this matchup. So let's see how this is going to go here. We're going to see the surf coming through from yourself, which is going to force a shield from the opponent, as you can shield this move up and just farm the opponent down here. I think at this point of time, Moonblast coming through, you're going to get a ton of energy here, which is amazing, as we see now the opponent coming into a Giratina. This is going to be pretty decent for you. You actually could arguably try to catch a charge move here onto your Steelix, but you're going to go for one Moonblast first here. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. It does a ton of damage here. As you can go for one Crunch. Crunch does more damage compared to the Psychic Fangs. Steelix is actually rocking here a moveset that's completely non-stab. So like none of the moves that it uses has the same type attack bonus, which is usually kind of crucial for like moves. For example, here Wing Attack does more damage from a Gliscor compared to a Pokemon that does not have the flying typing, which is something that the Steelix doesn't really have the benefit of. It would learn moves like Heavy Slam, which is really bad as a move in general, as well as the move Earthquake, which is at least decent but also takes a long time to get to, so that would be a way to go. Here the opponent just decides to not swap out at all, which is a weird play by them, but they're going to get farmed down by the Tapu Fini here. Actually wondering, what is your say-swap for this team here? Is it the Tapu Fini? I guess it might be the Tapu Fini. Might be able to lure out some Dragon-type Pokemon as well, like the Giratina, for example, is pretty neutral against this one, while it would lose hard against something like your lead, which is maybe the way to go here. I'm not sure about it. We see the opponent going for one Leaf Blade, which will knock you out. You have to go into your own Virizion now. This Pokemon is something that actually I really want a good one from. It's like a Virizion as well as Cabalion or whatever. It's just recently came into the meta. I still haven't got like a really good one from trade, so maybe I should try to trade for it, but also trading for Ultra League seems to not be the way. Don't know, what's your opinion on Ultra League? Ultra League is not really the top meta league in my opinion. I really don't like this meta in general. I feel like for Ultra League you only have like those super bulky Pokemon and nothing really else. While for Great League at least you can play some more spicier stuff compared to anything else. And for Master League, you have at least legendaries, which are all pretty much the same bulk, pretty much all balanced. There's not really a legendary so far, at least, that's so overpowered that you really have to have this one. But yeah, here we're going to encounter a Charizard against you, which is going to be pretty okay-ish still. I actually wonder if you can win this in the 2 shields. You're going to let this move go through, as you see here already. A Blast Burn still doesn't even knock you out. Walrein comes in, gets an energy advantage, which is actually pretty huge for you, like for the opponent in general, because they get to the move here now in time before you can go for your own charge move here, and you can go ahead and go for one Leaf Blade. I don't know if this was the best move timing, I don't think it was, but you're still going to be able to knock them out here. As the Charizard comes in, at least you know your typings as well. Going to be able to go for the Sacred Sword, which does a little bit more damage compared to a Leaf Blade. While Leaf Blade is way better in a neutral scenario, the Sacred Sword is only single resisted, while Leaf Blade is double resisted. Here we see the Swampert coming in, which is actually pretty okay for you. The opponent is forced to throw now a charge move, as you will be able to hit the Psychic Fangs here, going to do some decent damage, also going to force the defense drop on the opponent. And I guess you're going to call that this is a bait. This was a bait. Very good call there from you. Going to shield this move up for sure, I think. But yeah, it's going to be another Hydro Cannon. It's going to be close. You're going to have 2 moves now stalled. This is only a Hydro Cannon as well. They were just way too fast for that one. Let's see what they're going to do here. They can go ahead and let this move go through here, I guess. As the opponent goes into the Charizard, they go for, I think that's only a Dragon Claw, is it? It's a Blast Burn. That's going to be a good game here. Blast Burn going to completely destroy you here, sadly, if the opponent didn't lag there. Okay, I mean, that's fine, I guess. Like, it's definitely not how it's supposed to be, but still, you won the game, which is kind of fine. We see the next opponent here coming in. We see a Crunch coming through against the opponent's Trevenant. Trevenant should be a pretty decent matchup for you, as Crunch should pressure them like enough to win this in the 2 shields, I think. But you're going to see here now the War Ring coming in. You just go into your Virizion, you can take one charge move here, which I would do as well, which is a very good move so far. Kind of want to criticize the battles as well a little bit more. Here we're going to see the Leaf Blade coming through, which does not knock them out yet, but does gonna get them low. They have to go for another move, and you're going to be able to shield this one up. You can go for 3 fast moves here. You might just, go for 1, okay. 3 would have been fine, I think, from the energy management that the opponent had, but now the opponent goes into the Trevenant. You're gonna go for the Leaf Blade, which does do more damage, but still it's going to be an awkward run as the opponent catches the move on a Kyurem. Kyurem is a spicy pick. They don't get the defense drop, which is kind of sad. Here now they're definitely gonna get one, because here it's guaranteed, while Crunch is only a 30% chance. But this is a wild, you can take this move here, it's going to be most likely the Dragon Claw to knock you out. The opponent only has access to the move Glaciate as well as the Dragon Claw. Both of them are resisted by Tapu Fini. They most likely go for Glaciate here as well. Going to get some drops there against you as we see the Trevenant coming in. You're going to shield up the move, Seed Bomb coming in. You might want to catch a move, but the opponent actually gets to another mon here in time. I think they're just barely there though, so maybe you can get to 2 serves. You are not yet at 2 serves, but I think you should be able to get to your next one. Let's see, you are going to be able to do that here. And I'm pretty sure this should be enough to knock out the opponent, and it is. So this is going to be a very good game here. Next opponent coming through, let's see what they're going to have here. We're going to see a fighting opponent, takes a little bit here. We're going to see someone with a bug catcher pose, which out the thing there, I don't know. So yet, we're going to see a Drifblim here. Drifblim going to be now available as well as a Shadow version. So I wonder when we're going to face a Shadow version of Drifblim eventually. Very cool Pokemon as well. We're going to see Crunch coming through. We're going to get shielded from your opponent, as Crunch is going to be super effective. You can take another charge move. I would just let this move go through, but you're going to shield this Shadow Ball up, which is still fine for you, as this Crunch coming through now as well. Going to get some damage on the opponent, and you're gonna get the defense drop finally. Good thing that the Drifblim gonna go down here now though, because even they're going to get the next Shadow Ball here, and mostly going to not even knock you out. You still survive it here, forcing the opponent to either use a shield or get knocked out, and they're gonna get knocked out, which allows you to realign, which is decent. But Drifblim would be the best answer for Virizion. In general, I feel like Drifblim might have a lot of play now, because Drifblim can beat a lot of the current meta Pokemon, or in general it's just so neutral. Like, it has coverage against basically everything with the moves that it has, that it might be very decent. Here we see a Talonflame coming in, which you can retaliate now with your own Tapu Fini. This Pokemon can take some moves, but still going to be a little bit awkward against the potential of Brave Bird. You're going to no-shield the first one, which is the smartest play that you can do here. Very, very decent play there, as this will allow you to go for another Surf, and now they're going to get the shield against you for sure. You have to shield this one up. It's going to be the Brave Bird, and this basically seals the deal here. I think you should be able to win this game now, as this Surf is coming through. Drapion going to take a lot of damage from that, and you can knock them out with one or more Water Gun. Good game there. Very well played. Next opponent, we see a Registeel. This is not ideal. This is a less than ideal. Don't know how you want to play this. You actually got to go ahead and go for the Psychic Fangs, which literally doesn't really make too much sense. I would at least go for the Crunch here, which is neutral, while Psychic Fangs, of course, gets you the debuff there, but what is the... why? Like, what is happening here? Like, heh. Okay, we see the Surf now coming through here. I'm not going to question anything here. You're going to have to shield this Zap Cannon up here. Sadly, you're going to get the attack drop, which is actually crucial for the opponent, because now they should be able to survive another Surf, forcing you to use another shield, but they're going to shield anyway, which is fine for you, because now you might be able to farm down. Letting this move go through, Zap Cannon not going to knock you out yet, but it's going to be a farm down race, and they're going to be able to farm you all the way down. They still get to another move here, I thought, but no, they do not. And we see a Gliscor coming in, which again, the move timing is a little bit off here. The opponent basically got a free fast move in with that, but you're going to go ahead and go into your Steelix. It's going to be a tough one. I don't know how you want to win this game here. Steelix is going to be able to go for some Psychic Fangs here, which will do some decent damage against the opponent, but still, Sacred Sword going to be super effective as well. The Psychic Fangs coming through now, and this is still not doing enough to really put them into any range where you can farm them down. You have to let this move go through. You have to rely on your own Virizion now, which will be able to resist at least the charge moves of the opponent's Gliscor. So using your shield here would have been fine, but the opponent doesn't even shield, which is even better. And now it's just going straight for the Leaf Blade here. Leaf Blade going to do some decent damage against the opponent. You still need 2 more in general, but you should be able to just go for another fast move here. Shielding the first one is super risky here, by the way. If they get the boost boost from Night Slash, it might be over, but like this, you should be fine with going for another charge move here, unless this is an Earthquake. Let's see, it's an Earthquake. It is not an Earthquake, it is just a Night Slash, and you will be able to now win this game with this Leaf Blade coming through. Good game there. Let's see, next opponent. We will see Steelix against Ampharos. Very good lead for you. There's not a lot that Ampharos can do unless they're running Focus Blast, which is kind of likely actually. It's usually what people run on this Pokemon. But also, then again, it's a little bit tricky for them. Because let's see if you're going to share this move up. Is it a Focus Blast? It is a Focus Blast. You're gonna get blasted. It still doesn't knock you out, which is wild. Steelix is just so insanely bulky. Like, the bulk of this Pokemon is so wild. As you're going to be able to get the shield from the opponent, you can let this move go through here. It's going to be the Brutal Swing for sure. And you can go ahead and go into your Virizion, trying to knock them out, maybe just with the fast moves as well. As you're going to try to catch the move on your Tapu Fini, which is smart because both moves are resisted here. As they're gonna go ahead and go into the Swampert, which is a smart move by the opponent, as this will allow them to avoid the Virizion there, which will have, of course, the double super effective Leaf Blade. Swampert's typing in general is so nice, not gonna lie. Just having only one weakness is so amazing. Unless Niantic going to introduce Freeze Dry, which would be an Ice-type move that would also hit a Water-type Pokemon for super effective damage. But as Niantic doesn't have any abilities really in here, this is not something that I would really expect. But what I would expect is a forfeit here from yourself, as this opponent here going to have a Trevenant in the back, which I don't think you're going to have the greatest time against. You have to call a bait here, which you do not, and they're going to not bait as well, but like, what is supposed to happen here? Like, the Leaf Blade is doing like literally zero. Like, it just doesn't really make too much sense to stay in this matchup. Also, still again, definitely something that you should try to learn a little bit better is when you throw your charge move compared to your fast move timing. You usually try to do it on alignment, which can be okay if you want to win CMP and you know that you win CMP and you know that the opponent throws. But usually it's better to try to always align your fast moves one turn before the fast move of the opponent is ending, which allows them basically then to not sneak in another fast move, which would give them more energy, more damage, more turns in general for free. So yeah, it's maybe not ideally played. Here we see though the Giratina matchup, which is so in the favor of Steelix. It's kind of wild. Like, Giratina just doesn't have any chance at all here. Just Dragon Tail alone already chunks them all the way down. As you encounter the Swampert now, where you can swap out immediately into your Tapu Fini now, that would be the play to go. You're still going to stay in for whatever reason. Not sure really why. Literally don't really know why, because you kind of need your Steelix as well for a potential Trevenant in the back, so like that would have helped you. Like this, you still at least get to another charge move. You're going to get the shield from the opponent. We see Cresselia coming in, which at least you can realign. You're going to be able to get the debuff on the opponent as well, as you can go ahead and go into your Tapu Fini now, which will have a better time thanks to the debuff. But of course, the potential of Grass Knot, which we're going to see here as well, going to destroy your Tapu Fini. As you see the shield coming up from itself, that's going to do some decent work here hopefully for you. You're most likely going to be able to solve another Grass Knot as well. But we see that the Cresselia basically getting lower and lower. I think you have to let this move go through as well. You do let this move go through as well. It doesn't still knock you out though. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. You're going to go straight for the charge move here, which is, I guess, the smartest idea, as this will knock them out if they would let this move go through. But they don't let this move go through, and we see a Swampert coming in. You're forced to let this move go through here and forced to knock out the opponent eventually, but you have to let this move go through as well. And maybe either try to catch the move or do something fancy, I don't know. They just spam you the entire time. I didn't even know that they hit so much energy. It's all wild. As you're going to be able to go ahead and go for another charge move here, which will knock them out. But now the Cresselia is coming in. Is this enough to knock out the Cresselia as well? We will see. It is enough, and this is going to be a good game here. Last game, most likely, we're going to encounter a very good lead for you. And a very good save as well. You beat both of them with your Steelix already. So staying in here is definitely the way to go. You're going to stay in the entire time, as Crunch going to crunch them down. You will be able to go and hopefully get another defense drop as well, thanks to the 30% of Crunch. That would help you out a lot here. Let's see what you're going to do here as the opponent goes for more charge moves. They just don't do damage. They have only Moonblast and the Psychic type charge move there, which is Future Sight, which neither of them is doing neutral damage to this Steelix. So you're going to have a great time here. You realize this as well, so you're going to swap out because you know that they don't have anything that really hurts you. What does hurt you though is that the opponent gets the the attack drop there, which is a 10% chance from the Moonblast, but it's kind of wild to get that here. As we see the opponent's page, you're going to go for some Feather Dances, which is ideal for you because you don't really care too much about your Tapu Fini anyway. You will be able to just go ahead and let this move go through as well. You can still, even though your attack is 4 times debuffed, you can still go for the Moonblast. Still gonna get them low as well with that, which is wild. And now the opponent has to really think about which Pokemon do I want to send in with a disadvantage in terms of the defense status. You're going to be able to debuff the opponents here. We see Pokemon coming in here as well, which are going to take the Psychic Fangs. This Charizard will not have the greatest time in general against the Steelix Psychic Fangs, but against the rest of the team, it just completely core breaks it. Like honestly, Dragon Claw comes through, very good bait there for you because it's going to allow you to survive this next Dragon Claw coming through as well. They can farm you down. We see the opponent swapping in here, which is a smart decision as well, I guess, as the Leaf Blade coming through, going to knock out the Cresselia. You don't get to the charge move, which is really, really bad. If you would have got to the charge move, you either got the shield or more damage, and both of them would have helped you out so much. You're going to have to kind of call that this is a Dragon Claw, I feel like, but they're going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw while you shield this move up. You go for another debuffing move here with Psychic Fangs, and let's see if you can farm them all the way down with your fast moves here. Let's take a look at this one. It's going to be a close one. Dragon Claw coming through, going to get shielded. Can you farm them down? You can get to the charge move and win this game. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Leave a like if you did, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.